Hi, this is Seamstress with Rock Rage Radio, and tonight we're talking to Blu Fogarty. Blu is a actor, entertainer, a musician, author of a rock opera entitled Bacchanal Carnival. Got a lot of really cool stuff going on that we're going to talk about tonight. So I'd like to welcome you to my show, Blu. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being here. For the people who don't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, me personally, my name is Blu Fogarty. I do a lot of performance and philanthropic work. I've been doing both of those for many, many, many years. I do stunt work at Universal Studios, defy choreography in the medieval fairs, and I do a lot of charity around town, different towns that I've gotten to live in, and that's actually what led me to design the Bacchanal Carnival with one of my friends, my partner, Ashley Gilbert. We have made C.O.R.E Incorporated, Community Outreach Relief Effort. We're a nonprofit organization, and as I said, all of our proceeds go back to the presentation and charities in our community. I'm on the board of directors for the Coalition of Hungry and Homeless in North Central Florida, in Gainesville, Alachua County. And through the coalition, we've already been able to take a correctional facility and turned it into a one-stop, all-purpose community center.
Oh, wow.
It has all of the services now at one location. It is geared towards the homeless, but anybody is welcome to the services that are available, everything from Meridian, Social Security, social services, legal representation, veteran services. They all have offices at this community center throughout the week. It's a live-in facility, but if they're unable to get inside or be inside for whatever reason, we have Dignity Village, a tent system that's set up outside, so they can still have access to the lending libraries, mail, telephones, showers, clothing closets, laundry, meals throughout the day. That's just one of the projects that C.O.R.E has been able to advocate for and facilitate and bring about into fruition. We partner with those in an area that stand out for making a difference. And we want to build a touring rock operetta called the Bacchanal Carnival, which is an allegorical morality show. Well, it just means that it's a positive message all told through music, and we want to tour that to these different communities and partner with those that are already doing something. In Orange County, we've been working to establish a group that deals with children with disabilities, everything from scholarship for those in need to actual school and training for the kids as well as those who work with them. So it's different in every town that we'll be good to go to. But our rock operetta, I could tell more about the story, what the story is about, and it's different. It's an extremely eclectic collection of musical styles.
Right.
That's probably my favorite thing about it as a performer personally, is that it has calliope, lullaby, Caribbean, folk, heavy metal, hip-hop, pop, rock and roll, Elizabethan Renaissance, Indian ballad, Romanian, gypsy violin, and Cicerone scale, Celtic, blues, gospel, soul, industrial metal. It ends with reggae ska. It's the story of every man through his life, his birth, adolescence, midlife, adulthood, death, and then his rebirth. It follows his story while he's trying to figure out what to do in his own life. He becomes very egocentric, consumed by his own needs, his own wants, desires, just very selfish. It takes his death to realize that there was more going on in this world than just him. And by the end, he becomes an advocate for the downtrodden, those less fortunate, and he goes around correcting things that he did in his past, as well as trying to make a bright future. So that parallels to C.O.R.E Community Outreach Relief Efforts' mission of offering aid and assistance to those in need. So it's a morality show that has the same type of message that we're trying to get around, just going to different places and helping communities grow and prosper. We heal through the humanities and the arts.
I remember we met. You showed me this show in, I think it was January of 2013, and basically came over to my house with your laptop and ran through the show from beginning to end. You had a lot of inspirational music in there that had the feel of all the songs that you wanted to drop in there. You had a lot of the costumes already done, and I was really impressed with the even 2 years ago where it was then, and I got involved in helping you develop the costumes further and working on that. So now you recently went to an event in Jacksonville.
Yeah, One Spark.
Tell us about that.
Well, One Spark is I believe it's the world's largest crowdfunding campaign. There was over 300,000+ people that came to Duval County, to Jacksonville for this. They offer, so there's 5 different categories. Social good was the category that we were in. There's art, music, science, technology, and education. We were in the social good category. And in each category, they have 2 ways of gaining funds. They vote. So all of the votes that you can get, the people that come to the event to vote on, you can get an extra $15,000 bonus by votes, and you get an extra $15,000 bonus by the person who gains the most funds during the campaign. We didn't get either one of those bonuses, but we did do pretty well. We had the chance to present and show our work to thousands of people that came through.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't get a good head count, but every time we turned around, there was someone else to present to, and that was fantastic. I wish that more towns did this. It's very new to Jacksonville, so they're growing. They're getting it more and more. But I hope that Orlando and Gainesville and other towns can do this kind of thing too, to lead by their example. But it is something pretty cool. It makes groups, because they could be at any level of incubation. They could have just had their idea drawn on a napkin and come up there and present it. It really encourages people to be creative and get out there and see what's going on in the communities and areas. Basically, all the ones who really won in each category were locals to that area, and they had a lot of people in their street team that could present and pass out. But like I said, we did really good, and we learned a little bit more about our spiel and how to present. It was really exciting. It was really exciting. On our website, on www.COREincorporated.org's website, we do have a link in our donation site that will go to the One Spark campaign.
Okay.
But after May 7th, we're going to create like a PayPal account for the donations to be included into it then. So we're working on that.
I remember you posted a video that I think was something you had to do for this One Spark.
Oh, yeah.
Is that still on YouTube?
It is on YouTube. It wasn't just for One Spark. We wanted to make sure that we had it done by the One Spark campaign.
Right.
It's a promotional video about us, who we are, what we're doing. It is on. We're going to have it on our website soon as well, but it definitely is on our Facebook, which is Facebook Hardcore Incorporated.
Hardcore Incorporated? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to look.
Go back and post those.
It is www.facebook.com/Hardcore Incorporated.
Okay. Spelled out.
And our promotional video is definitely in that. You'll also find a link at my Facebook, which is Blu Fogarty on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that within the next couple of weeks, in fact, we will have our promotional video on our own website as well. We're doing a whole renovation web design right now. So
I'll post it too. I'll post it on my site and in this invite and with these links and all of that, so that people can go and watch that. Okay, cool.
So we'll just probably try to get it some kind of link.
Right. Do you have a channel for CORE Incorporated?
A YouTube channel for it. It's Blu Fogarty.
Okay, so they can look it up on YouTube under Blu Fogarty, and it's listed in those videos?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to look up any of those stuff, I have a lot of information that we've already been posting on all of our Facebook sites. I'm sure I've given you a link somewhere in there. But yeah, absolutely.
So because this is a radio show, you get to play DJ. So would you like to pick one of the songs that was part of the inspiration to the rock opera that you wrote?
There's a varying diversity to this, and that's what I love so much.
Right.
But I know that I personally prefer some of the heavier stuff.
Okay.
There is a song in the show sung by a gargoyle named Gargantuan, and it is during every man's adolescence. It's when he's been out on his own. He's trying to figure it out. It's very metal, and and it's Makeup.
So what song was the inspiration for that?
I'm trying to decide if I wanted to say the Fear Factory or the Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay. You're listening to Psycho Seamstress on Rock Rage Radio, and tonight we're talking to Blu Fogarty. Blu has written a rock opera called Bacchanal Carnival. You pronounce it different than I do. But welcome back. Blu, so why don't you tell us, I remember being very touched when I watched your YouTube about the show. It was your promotional video for the show. You talk about being homeless at one point in your life.
Yeah, it was a relatively small amount of time in the scheme of things, but it was a couple of years before I turned 18. You know, just
so you weren't even an adult when that happened to you.
Nope, not yet. But of course, I felt I was kind of adult, don't we all? You know.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with adult situations like that. Yeah, and I just remember that had a profound effect on the rest of your life because
it
now,
really did. It helped me to see the good and bad of life, of people. I've always had some of my family members have always been into mission work. So that's always been something I wanted to do. It took me a while to figure out how I was going to be able to combine entertainment and charity work.
Right.
Yeah, it certainly had a big impact in my life, but I was very fortunate and lucky actually to have it happen in my youth. For me,
right.
People wanted to work with me a lot more. I got to crash at people's place a lot easier. You know, it really was easier in my opinion than some of these older individuals that I see daily that are suffering to try to get any Social Security or, it really is, it's tough. Once you get in a rut, it's hard to get out of it.
No doubt. And I know that was one of the reasons I wanted to get involved with you is because the whole premise of the show that you're building is to travel from community to community and partner with the local charities to raise money locally, but also to share the message of every man and the struggle that the character goes through, which, like you said earlier, the diversity of the music, the diversity of the costumes, it's multicultural. It pulls everybody in from different religions, different upbringings, and it just really struck me as something that everyone could relate to.
Absolutely. Thank you for noticing that. I mean, that is why every man is the protagonist in this.
That story goes back to Shakespeare, doesn't it?
Well, morality plays. There was an Everyman where in that it was very allegorical where the emotions came to life and hate took on its own form. Every man had to go through his life cycle. So it's very similar, yeah, based on so much that has influenced me and so much that, yeah, we all just pick up little things along the way. And it's definitely a hodgepodge of so much of people's lives. So not every single thing will relate to every single body, but there will be a moment that has a connection.
We'll pull you in. Yeah, I think so too. That's one of the things that attracted me to it because I just feel like having seen it, having watched you perform it in my dining room from beginning to end, it just sucked me in, and it's something that I, wanted to get involved in. I know we ran through, I know you've got the costume designs laid out. And
we have the entire outline of the soundtrack as well. We're just working right now to try to fill in some musicians and get it master recorded. Because once we get the soundtrack finished, then we will start doing casting.
Right.
But we're in the fundraiser stages of it now, but we do have everything, the designs. We have all of that already finished, so we're well on our way.
So what kind of people are you looking for? Do you still need someone to help you get all of your songs registered and that sort of thing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We could certainly use people who are knowledgeable in legal, people who are knowledgeable in copywriting, people who are knowledgeable in music, people who are knowledgeable in art, just people who want to get involved and do charity work in their community too, because we do have ideas of things that we would like to be involved with, but we love people to suggest and recommend things that we could look into, because there's always another opportunity for us to make a difference somewhere else.
So you're also, once you've got the show together, you need charities to partner with, you need communities to partner with, what it's going to take to put all of this together. There are a lot of pieces to this pie. You've got...
and there will continue to be so. So right now we're looking for philanthropists, sponsors, people who like these kinds of initiatives, people who love the humanities and arts, people who love philanthropy work, charity work, people who love to get involved in their communities. And this is something that is not common. I don't know really anything that is like this.
I haven't heard of anything else like this either.
And as I mentioned before, the reason it's called a rock operetta is because an operetta is a light opera, because this is not an opera. There's way too many eclectic, diverse music styles. But that's what I love about life. Life in general has an amazing amount of diversity. And each of these songs is told by a different style of character, a representation of every man's mind, skeleton characters, gargoyle characters, and so they sing in different styles. The Gothic Scotsman has a Celtic piece. They do a river dance during it, attempts to hang himself with a noose. They do a maypole dance and create the noose. So it's pretty interesting.
Would you like to pick another inspiration song from the show, and we can play that to give people an idea of what the experience is going to be like?
Sure, absolutely. It's a song sung by Anima, this kind of edgy young female.
She's a character.
Yeah. She's kind of punk, but still relatable. Her tone is Avril Lavigne. That's the kind of feel she has for the song, but the most that it sounds like for this song called Angst the Breakup is a Trapped called Headstrong.
Great. Okay. This is Seamstress, and you're listening to Rock Rage Radio. Tonight we're talking to Blu Fogarty. Blu has written a rock operetta, and I recently learned that there's differences between a rock opera, rock operetta, like, for instance, a rock opera or operetta is sung from beginning to end versus a musical, which part of it is sung and part of it is spoken. So I recently learned that. So now you've got a lot of experience in the theater yourself. You've managed some theaters in Orlando.
Yeah, Bachelor of Fine Arts and Stage Management.
And weren't you working at Shakespeare Theater here in Orlando?
That is one of my spots that I have worked at. Absolutely. I did stage management there for a year.
You want to talk about some of your background in the theater and in performing?
As I mentioned earlier, I still do a lot of performance work, but now it's more towards the action. That's what I like. But I did get my degrees in theater. I started with musical theater, and then, like I just said, I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Stage Management. And the reason I love stage management was because I do have an interest in all of the elements of theater, the lighting, the sound, the design, and stage managers have to know all of it and run all of it. So
air traffic control.
I still got to train in art and makeup. It all led to writing this show.
What were some of the other things that inspired you to do this?
Well,
was it because I know you've done some community? You were already doing community work.
Yeah, I mean, I have definitely part of the homelessness relief. That's been something that I have been a big contributor to since my youth. And when I was in Orlando, I did a lot of collection drives for the Coven, which is a youth program that they have there. Got them suits so that they could do their interviews and things like that. We did Feed the Homeless at UCF. We'd make a lot of sandwiches and go downtown, but we would talk to them as well, find out what kinds of things they needed, prescription glasses, fresh socks and underwear. You'd be surprised the littlest things that make the biggest difference.
I have a friend that collects like hotel toiletries and hands them out to the homeless people. Yeah, little tubes of toothpaste, things like that. Yeah, people don't realize the things you take for granted on a daily basis.
You can never go wrong with that. But as when we were designing community outreach relief effort, C.O.R.E Incorporated, we made certain to leave in our nonprofit status that we are not just about homelessness relief. We want to offer aid and assistance to all in need. So we will definitely partner with those who are already standing out to make the difference. It's varied which kinds of things I have assisted with in my life. I'm very opportunistic. So I find people who have needed me, and that's kind of what I have done. So it's varied. But I've always been a part of mission relief work since my youth, because that's what a lot of my family does also.
Right. I remember we talked about one of the ways that this show would raise money in communities would be by partnering with an organization that's a charity and letting them sell tickets, and they would keep part of the proceeds, and the show would get part of the proceeds just for an operating fund. And
that was certainly a way we were starting it at the beginning before we had our 501 status. But now we could go ahead and we can take all the funds and we can give them the royalties. But either way, that is how we are collecting funds, is through the ticket proceeds, through sponsorships, through donations.
Selling the soundtrack. Will you eventually be selling the soundtrack as well?
We certainly would love to do merch, out there.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely. T-shirts, all kinds of the merchandise. We'll see at that time. But of course, all of the proceeds will go towards the presentation to keep it continuing to grow and perform. But everything goes to charity of some
sort.
Yep.
That's excellent. What are some of your personal, I've seen you perform just some songs that you've written. What kind of music inspires you?
Well, my favorite is faster, more aggressive. Not necessarily thrash metal, but Avenged Sevenfold, Pantera. I do love Tupac. I like stuff that makes me get up and feel a lot of music in me.
Inspires you, gets you going.
Yeah.
So
I like a faster beat, certainly.
So if you could pick a song to play for us, what's one of your favorite songs, your personal favorite?
Oh my gosh,
as crazy as you want to be.
There are so many. In fact, now that I just mentioned Pantera, Walk is one of my favorite songs.
All right. That's an awesome song.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Phil Anselmo is going to be at Spooky Empire in a couple weeks.
Oh, very cool. Very
cool.
He's
going to be there signing autographs. Yeah, if you're a big fan and you want to get into Spooky Empire, he's going to be there. You're listening to Psycho Seamstress on Rock Rage Radio, and tonight we're talking to Blu Fogarty. Blu has written a rock opera called Bacchanal Carnival. Welcome back. I usually ask people a lot of what's your greatest wardrobe malfunction. Have you had anything like that at Universal?
Wardrobe malfunction at Universal? Not really. I'm pretty good on that.
How about at the Medieval Fest?
I've had shows that, let's see. So as a performer, I've actually been really lucky.
Yeah.
As a stage manager and technician, I've had to deal with the rips and quick changes. Quick changes is a nightmare when you're doing some of the shows like Tuna Christmas.
Right.
Something of that nature, when you have 5 to 10 seconds to get them into their next outfit and they have to be on another location on the stage. Yeah,
right. I've worked
amazing.
Some of that from the quick change perspective, trying to help the actor get in and out of something. Yeah, all kinds of things can go wrong there. So how does that usually go down? They're hopping on stage half dressed.
Repetition, man. And, if they do have to miss a boot, show must go on.
So they'll go on stage with one boot missing it.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, there hasn't been too many. I've been really lucky that I have got to go be a part of each and every section, element of a show. I've got to be on the design team or the sound team, so I've got to experience what it's like from their perspective. It's made me a much more solid performer and a much more solid designer and stage manager.
I think any time a person can have experience in all the elements of what they do, it's going to make them better at any section of that, because they understand what the stage manager is going through, and they understand what the designer, in everything is a lot clearer.
I recommend that in every job position that is out there.
I agree.
Other jobs that I've had, I like to know everything that's going on. Not only is it conducive to job security, but it just makes you that much more aware. You do better when you know why you're doing something. Right.
Yeah, when you understand why, but then you also understand the cause and effect. It's like, this is why you do it this way, because it's going to come out better in the long run because you've had to fix that problem when someone didn't do it the right way. There's just so many elements of having that.
It's helped me to be a lot more sound as a tactician also. I'm able to perceive what needs to be done a lot quicker. So I don't have those ridiculously scary moments that happen in shows. Now, of course, knock on wood, that's there's always going to be something that does go wrong, and I'll worry about those nightmares then. But I do like to have contingency plans already in place to where if that did happen, whatever.
Here's what I'm going to do.
The audience doesn't know what should have happened, so please them anyway.
True. Right, that's true. That's true.
Give them something. It's when you stop that they know something's wrong.
So you're one of the Terminator units in the Terminator show at Universal?
I am. At Universal, my longest position at Universal has been the T-1000. They're bad cop in the Terminator Across Time show. So
are you one of the guys on the motorcycle?
Yeah, I'm the bad cop.
Okay.
I'm the bad cop. Not the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the T-100 is the one who comes in on the motorcycle. I'm just the one who wears the motorcycle outfit.
Okay, and runs around shooting things.
No, I get shot a lot. I get shot a lot.
You get shot up, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's pretty...
There's been some other roles that I've had at Universal, but that's absolutely been my favorite and the one that I've been able to do the longest. Now over 10 years. Wow.
So what are some of the other shows you were in? Sinbad?
Yeah, I've got to be the decaying demon, but
that's a cool role.
And didn't get to do that one nearly the way I wanted or as long as I wanted. We didn't get to finish the whole training on it. There's always something, but I did get to be that character. Go through the audition rounds. I got selected.
He gets lit on fire, doesn't he? In
no,
that show?
That's another character. But either way, that role wasn't mine for nearly as long.
Right, but so the Terminator.
I've got to also be in their parade, some of their
Superstar.
No, the Mardi Gras parades.
Gotcha.
Be their eye candy.
Did you? Yeah, for sure. Did you have you ever done anything with the Halloween Horror Nights?
No, but I was a manager of a costume makeup store. That's actually for 4 years, that's actually where I learned how to do my special effects makeuping for a lot of these characters.
For the show that you're working on now.
It was very, very seasonal, very Halloween oriented. But I kind of got burnt out. I want to be either a performer or a manager at Universal.
Right.
I don't really like doing this characters, but there's nothing wrong with them. I love them. I love those people.
It's your day job. So what do you do you do fight choreo also for the medieval fairs?
For the medieval fairs.
I just met Digger recently. Have you met Digger that does the leather armor?
What you're talking about? Genius with leather. Genius.
He is. I got to go over to his shop and spent like 5 hours there.
Amazing.
Yeah. His stuff is museum quality. I mean, it's amazing.
The medieval fair that just happened in Hogtown in Gainesville at the end of January, the beginning of February this year, I was a Viking leader. I got to do double acts, have a stage, a cage match fight.
Wow. Have you ever gotten hurt doing anything like that?
Well, absolutely. It comes with the territory. I've gotten hurt at Universal, but we condition ourselves. We train a lot to where we minimize the incidences, and we also practice so that kind of thing doesn't happen.
Right. So you work with some groups that do.
Yeah, I do a lot of training and choreography in Alachua County in Gainesville, Florida, with the Thieves Guild. They are a local combatant stage combat and performance troupe. They do some charity work as well, and they perform for different youth programs, different kid functions. But yeah, I love doing. I actually just came from a committee meeting. We were designing our next stage and tower sections so we can have a wall that we do our fighting off of. And yeah.
Kind of like a rock wall type thing, or
like a castle wall.
A prop wall, yeah.
Like
Very
a castle
cool.
wall. We come from tower to tower fighting, and then we also have different platforms that we do our movements and work on. I love elevations and levels. I love to be able to do work on that, but I can easily go to the ground. I have no problems with that either.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely one of the most talented people that I know as far as diversity and all of the things that you're one of those just Renaissance men, I think. As I just am so rooting for you for this show, and anything that I can do to help to make it happen, I just feel like it's going to be a very successful, and I really hope that everybody that you need to put this thing together comes your way.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. I thank you. I definitely, that's very nice to hear. Wonderful. And
you know, I'm in your cheerleader.
Yeah, you've shown that since we have met, and I appreciate that a lot. And of course, you know, it'll be what it'll be. You know, everybody's got their own babies crying, so it's really tough to get people to do things, but you know, when it's going to work, it's going to work. So I'm really thankful that we've got to do. We're still growing every single day, making leaps and bounds. The rest of the world will know as soon as we're performing enough.
Right.
And if they want to get involved now, please contact me. Let's do something.
Yeah. Anybody that wants to help out with the show, they can get in touch with me. Psycho Seamstress, they can get in touch with you. Blu Fogarty, you're on Facebook. So we've talked about some of your other social media links.
Our Twitter is BC Operetta for Bacchanal Carnival Operetta. BC Operetta.
Gotcha. BC Operetta.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'm on that. That's on Twitter.
Yes, ma'am. In fact.
And then
we have the Facebook. We have our website, COREincorporated.org. And we will be putting a lot more information on that. We just got a big sponsor, the Harley-Davidson store in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Yep. The owner is a good friend of mine, and they do a lot of charity fundraisers. Work. They do a lot of charity fundraisers. And
Great.
So one of the fundraisers this year that's going to be geared towards us is what we have been in talks for. We'll see how that actually goes. But yeah, we're writing grants. We're being approved. You know, we're slowly but surely.
Right. So if someone wants to help you write grants, I'd like to see you at the Let's Rock for Kids event again this year. It's going to be on August 9th in Sanford, Florida. We're in the process of booking a headliner for that. We've got some things we're putting together there. And I think that there'll be a lot more heavy hitters there this year that can hopefully get involved in helping you move this thing along with your show.
There was a lot of really nice connections. That's actually where we started our connections for the work we want to do in Orange County, the children with disabilities. That's where we first started to realize that and got some partners there for that.
Great.
So, yeah, we're a lot further along than we were last year. And so I'm excited to share and continue. Yeah,
and every little step you take. And I commend you because every time we talk, you're further along. You've gotten this little piece of the puzzle and one more little piece here. So, you know, and every time I find somebody that can help you, you know, get your music registered.
Right, you're fantastic with that. Thank you.
I try to send everybody your way that could possibly help.
And when it clicks, it will click.
Yeah. And, you know, it's just a process, and there's some growing pains, but I think you're going to get there, and I can't wait. I'm very excited. It's been really great talking to you tonight, Blu. Do you have any parting words?
Nothing that I didn't say before or that would be so profound, except for just get involved. We'd love to hear from you.
I would love anybody who's listening tonight that wants to help in any way. It doesn't matter where you're located. Get in touch with us, and we will find something for you to do. All right. This has been Psycho Seamstress and Blu Fogarty, and you're listening to Rock Rage Radio, and we are out of here.